Good morning, Hustle Nation. It's all about developing the mindset of a winner. We're going over the 13 laws of high achievers. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. If you missed part 1, we'll put a link to that in the description so you can check that out. But man, if you stick around to the end of the show, you will have a blueprint to change and transform your mindset. If you're not already thinking and behaving like a winner, we're going to give you the blueprint to do just that. Of course, we got our announcements for the day. We got our question of the day. We got our quote of the day, and we got our 1-minute motivation. So go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand, and let's get to it. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, Hustle Nation, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show this morning. I am super excited you guys are coming to hang out with me for a little bit this morning. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life Academy studios here in St. Louis, Missouri, the premier digital marketing mastermind for entrepreneurs looking to take their business and their brand to the next level by leveraging the internet and social media. As you guys are pouring into the room, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Anthony Munoz, I see you out there on YouTube. Good morning, brother. We'd like to give you a free business shout out if you are participating in this show this morning. 13 laws that govern high achievers. We're continuing our study on the book, If You Think You Can, by TJ Hoisington, and developing the mindset of a winner. So really quickly, let me hit you with a couple quick announcements. I'll give you the question of the day, and then we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. So my announcements for today, I am still looking to bless about 6 more single moms who want to add another stream of income to their household, right? We do 2 things really, really well with the Extra Digit movement. Number 1 is we help people expand their existing cash flow. Who don't know a single mom that wants to expand their existing cash flow, meaning making the money that they make right now go a lot further. And number 2, we help them add another stream of income with our financial education franchise. So if you know a single mom, pass them along, tag them in this video. If you are a single mom and you're looking to add another stream of income to your household, then comment single mom or text your name and keyword single mom to 314-874-6887. We got a 50% off deal to help get you started in your own financial education franchise. So let's connect. If you're a single mom or if you know a single mom, tag them in the comments. Also, if you are an entrepreneur, right, Thornton Online Marketing is about to officially launch next month. And we're doing some pro bono work in exchange for your testimony. And we're starting with website and sales funnel build out. So if you are in business and you need a website or a sales funnel, then I want you to comment the name of your business without posting any link. Tell me the kind of business you're in and a little bit about it. And we might be willing to build you a website or a sales funnel template that you can use in your business in exchange for a testimony. So let me know if that is you. And then if you don't know by now, the Monetize My Life Academy Mastermind is closing its doors on February the 28th. It means you got to get in, you got to lock in your spot. And then those who are in, we get to love on them and really build them up. And then we'll probably open the doors again later this year. So go ahead and get locked into Monetize My Life Academy Mastermind. Go to monetizemylifeacademy.com. Question of the day. What is the question of the day? Today's question is, what makes you strong? Or in other words, what is your superpower? Right? Sometimes we focus on our weaknesses and we never identify our strengths. So, if you answer the question of the day, you get entered into a drawing to win a free vacation, ladies and gentlemen. So let me just kind of show you. Yeah, man, let me put this graphic up. If you answer the question of the day, you enter to win a free vacation. So you're going to put QOTD and then your answer. That's how we know whose name to put in the drawing. So today's question of the day is, what makes you strong, or what is your superpower, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm going to give you my answers, my thoughts on that at the end of the show. So yeah, I got to keep it locked right here. So when we did part one, we went over the first 7 laws that govern high achievers. And I want to give you guys a recap on those, but let me just see who we have in the building. Any shout outs? Double A checking in from St. Louis, Missouri, chatting with this young lady. She's got a powerful work coming out that's going to help single moms. We're in the developmental stages of that, so I can't wait till she releases that. K Steele, Rise Richardson says single mom here. All right, if you're looking to add another stream of income, then we want to help you out, share with you what it is that we do. But go ahead and comment the name of your business and or your brand for your free business shout outs, ladies and gentlemen. I keep telling y'all, there's over 100,000 people that follow this page. You never know who might want to connect with you based on reading what it is that you're all about in the comments. I'm just saying, folks, I can't make you do it, but if you're not shouting you out, I don't know who is, right? You guys know that we also like to start the show with a quote of the day. So let me give you the quote of the day, and then we'll recap the part 1 of our 13 laws, and then we'll get into part number 2. So what is the quote of the day? Man, it's easy to achieve just about anything, right? It's easy to achieve just about anything. The problem is it's easier not to, right? See, it's when it comes to putting your mind to anything, it is easy to do just about everything when you put your mind to it. The problem is it's easier not to, right? See, let's be clear about something, people. If you set your mind to get up at 4:30 in the morning, it's easy to get up at 4:30 in the morning. You set your alarm, you get yourself up, you roll out of bed, and you go do your thing. But it's also easier not to, especially if you're like me and you got a smoking hot thing that lays next to you every single night. It's hard to get up out of bed at 4:30 in the morning when my wife is laying right next to me, right? So it's easier not to. And I cheated this morning. I did not get up and do my workout this morning, and I know I'm going to feel it, and I'm going to crash hard this afternoon because I like to get up and get my blood blowing, my blood boiling in the morning. So today's quote of the day here on the Cortez Hustle Show: it's easy to achieve just about anything. The problem is it's easier not to. So it's a fight ladies and gentlemen, to get up and do what it is that you need to do. So that's the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Let's see. Good morning from what is that? Mastic, Long Island, New York. I'm a soon-to-be author and poet. Love that, Dorothy. Well, welcome to the stream. If you already have a brand name for yourself, shout out to brand too, man. Get used to saying that, right? Every time I jump on the stream, it's, hey, financial health mentor is here who needs help with their finances, right? I just want to help people. So always shout yourself out. I can't Tanay, too. Welcome to the stream this morning as well. So let's recap what we discussed in part one. And then for those of you who missed part one, then look in the description and we'll drop the link to part one so you can go check that out. Or just always know that on your favorite podcasting platforms, the Cortez Hustle streams there, and also on youtube.com/financial health mentor. All of the replays of the show are there for you to go check out. And I have a playlist that's called none other than the St. Louis Hustle, the Cortez Hustle podcast. So you can see all the shows in sequential order in that playlist. So what are the first 7 laws of high achievers? Developing the mindset of a winner. Number 1 is the power of decision. Guys, a lot of times we think people who are winning in life, we think they always make the right decision. No. What they do is they decide and then they make the decision right. I want y'all to hear that. We think that successful people always make the right decision. No, they decide and then they make the decision right. That's a critical component in being successful. Their commitment to succeeding, they make a decision and it may not be the best decision, but they roll with it and they make that decision right by backing it up with action. So number 1, the power of decision. Number 2, demanding the best of yourself. High achievers want to be excellent at everything they do. And I'm learning this. There's a saying that goes like this: how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. So high achievers have established the habit of demanding the best from themselves, right? And when you demand the best from yourself, guess what? You don't tolerate a whole lot of foolishness when other people are giving a subpar effort, right? Ask all the former Chicago Bulls players that played with Michael Jordan. Right? He demanded so much of himself, he couldn't stand anybody around him who wasn't also giving 110%, right? Work on your self-development. High achievers make time to devote to their positive self-development. And I emphasize the word positive, because they're doing things intentionally that's going to keep them going down the right path. We're constantly doing personal growth and self-development, guys. Whether you're reading a book like this, whether you're reading something like this, it doesn't matter if you're reading a romance novel. That's personal growth and self-development. The question you must always ask about the things that you are consuming on a habitual basis is, what direction is this causing me to grow? Because personal growth and self-development is a never-ending thing. You're always growing, you're always developing. Sometimes you're just growing in the wrong direction, right? And this is not me judging the direction that you're going in. I'm speaking according to what you say you want out of life. Some of the things that we're doing is taking us further away from those things, right? Number 4, master your thinking. You got to master your thinking, ladies and gentlemen. What you think is usually derived from what you believe, and what you think becomes your words become your actions become your habits become your character, and your character is what determines your destiny, right? That's you got to understand that you control your thought process, right? Listen, we came up in a negative environment. They emphasize negativity on TV more than anything else in the world. So it's hard for us not to have negative thoughts. But when you go down the rabbit hole of that thought, when you don't bring that thought into submission to what it is that you want, then that's where the problem lies, right? That's where the problem lies. Tanaya says, been at work since 3 a.m. I'm loving the mindset on breakfast break now. This helps me, helps make my day go so well. Man, I thank you. I appreciate that. That's why I do this show, to uplift and encourage everybody, but in particular, those who want to unleash their inner hustle. Number 5, you got to be clear about what you want. That's so critically important, guys. If you aim at nothing, you hit it every time. If you aim at nothing, you hit it every time. You have to get crystal clear on what it is that you want, because then you can reverse engineer what it is you want, how to get it, and you can lay out a game plan, a roadmap on how to get there, right? The first thing that a GPS needs to know in order to map out a route for you is where you're going. The first thing, when you say, hey, I'm trying to get to somewhere, the GPS says, where are you going? Or the GPS starts with, where are you now? And then where are you going? So you have to get crystal clear about what you want. And sometimes we have it in our mind of what we want, but we're afraid of what other people are going to think about what we want. So we don't even pursue it. And we become what Zig Ziglar calls wandering generalities, right? Number 6, operating from your imagination. This is where the power of vision comes in. This is where your creative genius comes in. This is where you have to believe in yourself and your abilities. Then you have to see what it is that you want. And then you believe to go get it and go after it, and you develop a plan and you create the action steps to make it happen. Some people say you got to see it to believe it. No, you got to believe it first, then you'll see it. You have to believe it first, then you'll see it. When I have the vision and I'm laying down what the blueprint of Thornton online marketing is going to look like, the blueprint of what iHustle Media is going to look like, and how it's going to be right up there when you 40, 50 years from now, when you start looking at, man, the legacy that OWN Network has created, the legacy of Tyler Perry Studios, iHustle Media Group, going to be right up in there. You start looking at companies like Turner Broadcasting Network, TBS. You start looking at things like ABC and the Walt Disney empire. Yeah, iHustle Media Group going to be right there. Going to be right there. See, I've already started to vision that, and I'm using the power of my imagination, and I'm going back in my mind to think about, what is it that Walt Disney was doing 50 years ago, 60 years ago? What is it that Ted Turner was doing 40, 50 years ago? What is it that Tyler Perry was doing 20 years ago as he was laying the foundation? I need to become that. I need to figure out the thought process that created those empires. And then I have to develop that same thought process, because I have to first get that thought process in order to get, when I start thinking like that, then I start taking the actions that those thought processes lead to. And those actions done consistently enough will create the habits. And I'll develop the habits of a Tyler Perry. I'll develop the habits of a Walt Disney. I'll develop the habits of an Oprah. I'll develop the habits of a Ted Turner. And those habits will create a certain character within me that will lead me to the destiny of creating a media empire that is right up there with all of those guys. Right? Imagination, vision. And then action is number 7, guys. Action is the winner's edge. See, everybody thinks about what they want to do. Everybody talks about what they're going to do. but only a few people take persistent, aggressive, and continuous action towards the pursuit of what they say they want. Action, ladies and gentlemen, is the winner's edge. People talk a good game. People think an even better game, right? Man, you get inside the minds of certain people, their thoughts are like, man, I want to do this, I'm going to do that. But then when you look at the actions they take every day, and this is no disrespect to anybody who loves football, who loves sports. This is no disrespect to anybody who loves to follow their favorite entertainer. But I got to say it, you are not going to build an empire and watch 15 hours of football a week. You're not going to build an empire and binge 15 hours of Grey's Anatomy or Housewives of Atlanta or whatever. You're not. Because nobody who has an empire has that in their blueprint. When I go through books like this, Think and Grow Rich, a study of some of the richest Black people in the country, and he goes through their stories and say, how did you build your empire? None of them say they watch 15, 20 hours of TV a week. None of them say they didn't have to punt leisure for a little while. None of them say, hey, instead of building my empire, I made sure I didn't miss any of my son's kindergarten award ceremonies. No, they sacrifice some of that stuff to build the empire so they can be there for the important stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's get into 1 minute motivation here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And then we're going to go through the last 7 laws or the last 6 laws that govern the lives of high achievers. Here on the Cortez Hustle Show, we do a segment called 1 minute motivation. This 1 minute motivation is where we play a short clip and we all write down a takeaway or two and we share our thoughts about what stood out to us. It's always funny to me how we all can have the same experience and at the same time all have a very different experience, right? Because some of this stuff is going to stick out different to you and it's going to stick out different to me. And I'm going to give my thoughts at the end. So write your takeaways in the comments right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. This is 1 minute motivation.
When you come up with excuses for why other people are successful and you're not, that is dangerous.
Like life itself is a process of becoming, a part of man's ongoing historical drive to manifest his consciousness outside of his mind, in front of his eyes.
Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. There are people right now who are working who don't want to work. There are people who hate their jobs, but they keep getting up to do it.
As a matter of fact, you always make sure you take your annual average vaccine because you never, ever, ever want to catch the disease of average.
You got to be totally committed. Everybody agree? You got to be completely uncertain. You want $1 million? You want $2 million? You want $5 million? How much money do you want? How much success do you want? How much notoriety do you want? You want a New York Times bestseller? Why can't you have everything? Oh, but I'm 65. So what? Man, Colonel Harlan Sanders made all his money after he was 65 years old. He wasted the first 64 years.
I wish I could tell you 70% is enough, but it's not going to happen. So I need you to understand something. You can have it if you want it, but the bigger the dream, the harder the grind.
We didn't grow up with the sense that where we were was where we were going to be. You know, we grew up with the sense that where we were almost didn't matter because we were becoming something greater.
Changing is not easy, but changing your life, changing habits, reinventing yourself, picking yourself up after life has knocked you flat on your back. I've got to say, when life knocked you down, try and flat on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
don't know about y'all, man, but I just got fired up all over again. This is my 4th or 5th time listening to that thing this morning. Comment your takeaways, man. What did you hear in that 90-second clip? And while you guys are getting your thoughts together, let me share with you exactly what YouTube channel that came from. I'm going to post a link here for those of you who are watching live, but for those of you who are listening to this on the replay on the podcast, that comes from YouTube channel Law of Attraction Coaching. YouTube channel Law of Attraction Coaching. And here is the actual link to that video. It's called Stop Your Negative Thinking. That's the name of that particular video. Let me drop the link in there for you guys, because it's actually a 10-minute video. So that was just the first 90 seconds of it. So let me see what are folks saying about this 1-minute motivation. Facebook user, if you give your, Shiro says, my takeaway is no excuses, just get it done. I love it. Beverly says excuses are dangerous. Totally committed. The bigger the dream, the harder the grind. Changing isn't easy, but it's necessary. If you can look up, you can get up. Absolutely. Eric says, love the moment. That is absolutely true as well. So yeah, a couple of my takeaways, man. I think some of you guys are spot on with the same thing that I got out of it. It's dangerous to come up with excuses for why other people are winning and you are not. Listen, man, comparison is the thief of joy, as my mentor Brian Bean says quite frequently. Comparison is the thief of joy, but here's why it steals your joy. Because we are often comparing our blooper reel with other people's highlight reel. I want y'all to think about that. We are often comparing our blooper reel with other people's highlight reel, right? And that's why it robs us of our joy, right? He also said, people do it even when they don't want to. One of the biggest misconceptions about winners is that we think winners want to do a lot of the things that we do. No, we're just committed to doing the things that other people won't do. It doesn't necessarily mean that we like doing those things, right? Nobody said that Kobe Bryant liked getting up at 4:30 in the morning. He just knew that LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and some of his counterparts were getting up at 5. He just knew that he had to do something that they were not doing. Nobody said he liked it or he loved it. Now, knowing the late, great Kobe Bryant, he probably did love it. But most winners don't particularly like the things that we have to do to win. We just know others aren't doing them, so we're willing to do them. He said, you got to get your annual average vaccine. He said, you got to get your annual average vaccine, because the last thing you want to do is contract the disease called average. Now, some of you guys know I don't do vaccines, but that one right there is probably one that I would take. Then he said, total commitment. Guys, we've made the word sellout a bad word, and it could be based on how you use it. But I will tell you right now, if you are not sold out 100% for your dreams and your goals, one of my favorite all-time songs, not just hip-hop songs, but all-time songs, is Eminem's Lose Yourself. Are you ready to lose yourself in the pursuit of your dreams and your reality, the reality that you want to create for yourself, right? And then he said, you can have it if you want it, but you got to go get it, baby. You got to go get it. Bethany Rucker in the building, Rich Rising. Welcome to the stream, Bethany. Shout out the name of your new book, Bethany, so people can know what you got going on. Just don't post any links, but let us know what you got going on. Dorothy Briggs says, I'm learning this in my Dream Builders class. You have to do what others don't to get what others want. Beverly says, my vaccine is called Never Give Up, with a boost of no procrastination. So that was 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And 1 Minute Motivation was brought to you by Integrity Wealth Solutions this morning. go out to Integrity Wealth Solutions, either on YouTube or Facebook. Connect with my man, John L. Smith, and he can help you with credit. He can help you get out of debt. He can help you lower your taxes. He can help you get a complete financial makeover if you want it. Integrity Wealth Solutions is today's sponsor of the 1 Minute Motivation. Big Ruby says, my takeaway is average vaccine. Yeah, man, conformity equals failure. Yep, I got you. I figured that's what you was writing. So that was 1 Minute Motivation. Check out my man, Integrity Wealth Solutions, Janelle Smith, if you need help in those areas of your finances. So we did part 1 of the 13 laws that govern high achievers. So I'm going to hit you with part number 2 and the last 6 laws in this lesson. I've got to run. Remember, I don't think anybody answered the question of the day, guys. Shout out to Shiro. She won her vacation. Shiro, if you're out there, let the people know how excited you were when you got your vacation certificate that I sent you just the other day. And she chose, I think, Daytona Beach, man, to go hang out for 4 days, 3 nights. And that's what we do. That's what we do. So if you answer the question of the day, you get entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. Today's question of the day is, what makes you strong? Or in other words, what is your superpower? A lot of times we do not see our strengths because we are so focused on our weaknesses. No, man, lean into your strength, man. Matter of fact, let me give you this analogy, right? Let me give you this analogy. Steph Curry's strength is his ability to shoot the 3-ball. Boy can shoot at about 45% from 3-point land. He didn't focus on his strengths. He focused in on he didn't focus on his weakness. He focused in on his strength. Well, some people say, well, he could shoot, so people will lay off of him. So he needs to learn how to drive. Now, if you're looking at that from a novice perspective, you're saying, Cortez, he learned how to drive because that was his weakness. No, that's not why he learned how to drive. He learned how to drive because that was going to accentuate his strength. Now you can't sag off of him or you can't pressure him because he can go by you and get to the basket. But really, that was all about his strength. Some people say, well, Cortez, he wasn't that strong of a ball handler when he came into the league, so he focused on his weakness of ball handling. No, he leaned into his strength. His strength was shooting the ball. So he developed his ball handling so he could shoot more off the dribble, so he could get to his strength. Some of y'all got it twisted. Y'all letting other people tell you about you're weak in other areas, so you're spending your time focusing on that. No, lean into your strengths and hire somebody to shore up your weaknesses. Lean into your strengths, and you can always hire someone to shore up your weaknesses. So let's get into these last 6, right? Law number 8 of the 13 laws that govern high achievers: maintaining a winning perspective. Maintaining a winning perspective. In the real world, moments of devastation are likely to come your way. Discouragement may creep up at the slightest miscarriage of your deeds. There isn't one person on this planet who doesn't experience misfortune. We all do. It's part of the process. Consequently, setbacks drive some people to fight harder. For others, it provides a reason to quit. The difference is all in your perspective. Maintain a winning perspective, man. The book I read says all things, not things, not a few things, not the positive things only. It says all things work together for my good because I love the Lord and I am called to his purpose. So I know that no matter how bad something seems on the surface, man, it's going to work out to my good. I don't know exactly how. Sometimes I think God has got a crazy sense of humor. I'm like, really, God, right now, at this moment, at this time, this is going on right now, really? But I trust in him wholeheartedly. So I know that somehow, some way, this is going to work out. And always remember this, guys. You can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. And that's when my belief in my creator gets strengthened. Because while I'm in the middle of this storm, I'm like, God, come on. I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of this pain. I'm hurting. I'm like, man, I was so close to my goal, and now this setback. Come on, God. But then a few years down the road, I look back at that storm and I'd be like, oh, all of that turbulence in that storm actually elevated me so that I missed the next 4 storms that came my way because I was flying at a higher elevation. Oh, some of y'all didn't get that. Some of y'all didn't get that. See, the storm that I was complaining and griping about actually caused me to elevate to a higher altitude. And because I'm flying at a higher altitude, I missed the next 4 storms in my life. And I flew right above them. But it was because of the storm that I was in that grew me to that higher altitude. It's all about perspective, man. At the end of the day, I win. At the end of the day, I win. This game of life, I'll be 47 years old. This game of life, guys, I'm not even halfway done. So even if I'm down 50 points before halftime, it has already been determined that I win. It doesn't matter if I'm a boxer and I'm in the 3rd round and I've been knocked down 6 times. I win. All I got to do is keep getting up. I just got to keep getting up. Right? Some of you guys know a little bit about Ali. And when he fought George Foreman, it looked bad for those first 7 rounds. There's no way Ali is winning this fight. That's the perspective I have. I have the perspective that I'm watching a fight on tape. I'm watching a game on tape. I already know who's going to win. And when you're watching it, you're like, ain't no way they're going to win, man. They down 40 points in the first half. And then you start seeing them charge back and they cut the lead to 20 in the 3rd quarter. And then you start seeing on the first half of the 4th quarter, they cut the lead to 10. And then with 2 minutes to go in the game, they down 3. I win. That's my perspective. Law number 9. Creating your own success team. Dale Carnegie used to teach that there is no such thing as a self-made man. In the real world, no success is achieved by a single person. No one stands alone. In the end, none of us makes it to the top by ourselves. You must associate with people who compensate for your weaknesses. Partner with those who are smarter than you. Guys, that's why we have the Monetize My Life Digital Marketing Mastermind. Some of you guys are trying to do this internet thing by yourself. And more power to you. That used to be me. I had to get some coaches and some mentors. I had to surround myself with some people who are smarter than me, right? Shout out to my man, Henry Dars, my man, Brian Bean, Ivy Stokes, Alvin Curry, right? Brian House, Adamo Tolson. I had to get around some people who were smarter than me. My virtual mentors like Brendan Bashar, Ping Jung. These guys I'm following virtually on YouTube, and I've got their books and their courses, right? Are you getting around people that are smarter than you? Or do you like to be the big fish in the small pond? You know what they say. If you're the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to exit that room, right? So you got to understand how to create your own success team is law number 9. Law number 10, we're talking about the 13 laws that govern high achievers, right? And if you guys have not smashed the share button, shame on you for being selfish. If you haven't smashed the share button, man, shame on you for being selfish. You here getting this good mindset, motivation, this training, and you're keeping it to yourself. Shame on you, man. Smash that share button, people, and invite the hustlers in your world to check out the Cortez Hustle Show. Law number 10, the power of focus. One major reason people never get what they want is because they lose focus on what is most important. Og Mandino said, too many of us never realize our greatness because we get sidetracked by secondary activity. A man with one watch always knows what time it is. A man with 2 watches is never quite sure. Right? That's pretty dope, right? A man with one watch always knows what time it is. A man with 2 watches is never quite sure. Guys, if you're not consuming this type of content, add this into your daily routine. Add this, right? Because this kind of stuff is what grows you. I want you to remember this, guys. We know that it takes more white paint to cover black paint than it takes black paint to cover white paint. If we are the canvas, guys, everywhere we turn in this society, we are being splashed on with black paint. And if you're not intentionally bringing some white paint into your life, it won't be long before your thought process is just completely negative. It won't be long before you are completely pessimistic. It won't be long before you are completely engulfed in fear of what's coming. All the new strains of COVID are going to really cause us trouble, right? The dollar is crashing. You better get the Bitcoin, and you better listen. I'm not saying anybody is wrong or right about that stuff, but what I am saying is, if you don't understand how to develop your own perspective about what's going on, you'll let somebody else's perspective ruin your life. Right? And that includes me. Right? Everybody who is in media, everybody who's in sales and marketing, we are all vying for a compartment in your mind. We are all trying to take up residency in your head. Some of us just have different motives about what we're going to do in that space. Right? Yeah, I have products and services. I want to take up space in your mind. I want you to think about me when you think about digital marketing. When you think about joining a mastermind, I want you to think of joining my mastermind. Yeah. But what's my motive? My motive is to help you win. My motive is to help you grow and accelerate to the next level. My motive is to help you have so much success that you go tell all of your friends about the mastermind. That's my motive. Right? So understand that we're all trying to take up residency in your mind. But what is the motive of that person when they get there? Right? Remember, if you're answering the question of the day, put QOTD so we know that you answer the question of the day, so that we can get your name into the hat so you can win or enter to win the free vacation. Today's question of the day is, what makes you strong? Or what is your superpower? We all got one, guys. We all have a superpower. And if you don't know what it is, ask 5 people who are close to you, what do they think your strengths are? So when you answer with QOTD, we'll take that and we'll put your name in the drawing. And every Wednesday, we give away a free vacation for those who participate in the question of the day. And I'm going to give you my thoughts here in a second, but let's fly through these last three. Law number 11, creating a sense of urgency. Creating a sense of urgency. The truth is that you don't have 1,000 years to live. In life, you are not afforded the luxury of unlimited time or a watch that lets you know how many days, months, or years you have left. Many, if not most people, are living their lives by the credo, I'll do it tomorrow, next month, or next year. One of these days, I'll do it. One of these days, I'll do it, is what we're saying. But one of these days isn't on the calendar. Someday isn't on the calendar. One day isn't on the calendar. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One day isn't there. One day isn't there. Someday isn't there. That's not a day of the week. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this a little bit, and I'm going to take the opportunity to share it now as well. For Christmas, I was laying up in the bed with COVID. Right? My wife had it. I had it. We are thankful that none of the children got it because we quarantined ourselves in our room, and that kept it from them. Right? 3 of my sons were here during that time. My one son was from school, and then I have 2 of my sons are still living at home right now, and we're thankful that they didn't get it. But boy, when I tell you, not being able to get out of bed for 10 days causes you to reevaluate your whole life. And one of the things that I realized is that I had lost my sense of urgency. Now, to some people on the outside looking in, I'm doing the shows, I'm marketing, my products are selling well, I'm doing my thing, right? But I had lost my sense of urgency. I was not pursuing excellence in every activity. I was not. I start looking at, if this thing takes me out of here, have I done all I could have done with the skills, the gifts, and the talents that God blessed me with? I'm not talking about anybody else. Have I done all that I could have done with the gifts and the talents? If that thing would have taken me out of here, I would have died with a lot of music left in me because I lost my sense of urgency. Let me ask y'all, man, and put this in the comment. Are you building? Are you doing? Are you loving your family? Are you building your business? Are you creating your relationships and partnerships? Are you striving to build and grow your customer base? Are you doing all of these things with a sense of urgency? Or are you saying, I'll do it tomorrow? I'll make that sales call tomorrow. And this is no judgment on anybody. I told y'all, this show is not about y'all. This is me talking to me out loud. Y'all just get to hear. I'm talking to me. Cortez, why do you keep saying you're going to make that sales call tomorrow? Cortez, why do you keep saying that you're going to invite this person into the mastermind tomorrow? When you need to get on the phone and call that person. If you believe that what you have to offer can truly change that person's life, then why are you talking about you going to call them tomorrow? Are you building with a sense of urgency, whatever it is that you're building? Law number 12 of the 13 laws that govern high achievers. Never give up. Guys, quitting is easy. When things get difficult, most people simply give up. They don't have the vision or discipline to keep going when the things get tough. Did you know that Walt Disney was turned down 302 times before the bank lent him the money to build Disneyland. And why do we know that he was turned down 302 times? Because he kept a record of it. He used that as motivation, right? My coach and mentor, Brian Bean, has all of the turned down letters when he graduated college and went to work in corporate America. He's got corporate America. He's got all of the turned down letters. Why did he keep them? Because that fueled him. Man ain't worked a job since he was 22 years old, built his own empire from home. Why? Because he had that fuel of all of those turned down letters, right? Or are you keeping those turned down letters as a, I'll show you, or are you being defeated by those turn downs? Just asking, but like Kermit, that ain't my business. Law number 13 of the 13 laws that govern high achiever. We're talking about developing a winning mindset, or the mindset of a winner, here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Law number 13, live with purpose on purpose. Live with purpose on purpose. Imagine people you know who are living life without any purpose and direction. You see, without a purpose in life, it is easy to get sidetracked. Without purpose, you would wander aimlessly through life. Achievers understand the importance of living with a purpose. They know why they are here, and they structure their life around that purpose. Cortez, why are you here? To uplift, encourage, motivate, to empower working Americans economically through financial literacy with an emphasis on entrepreneurship. And everything that I do, when I wake up in the morning, before I turn down in bed at night, I'm thinking about how can I do that with excellence? How can I do that on purpose? How can I do that even better? If I wake up tomorrow, I get another at bat to fulfill that purpose. What can I do differently? What can I do better to fulfill that purpose? Ladies and gentlemen, those are the 13 laws that govern high achievers. And you don't have to master all 13 of them at one time. Some of them you probably already got down pat, and that's cool. Grab another one or two, and for the next 30 days, start focusing intently on adding that to your repertoire, right? So now it's time for me to give my answer to today's question of the day. Let me see how you guys have answered the question of the day. Glenda says, my superpower is my ability to never give up and focus on what I need to accomplish and set goals in a step-by-step approach until I reach desired outcome. I love that. I love that. Who's that, Glenda? I love that. Let's see who else answered the question of the day. Let's see. I saw some QOTDs down here. My superpower, Shiro says, is perseverance, right? Great superpower to have. Let's see who else. Glenda, I got you on the superpower. All right. Yeah. Question of the day is, what is your superpower, or what makes you strong? So right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, we do this every day. And if you answer the question of the day, you can enter into a drawing to win a free vacation. And we do that drawing every Wednesday at noon Central Time, right here on these very channels and stations. So when I looked at this question, and the reason I bring it to you, because we sometimes focus on our weaknesses instead of leaning into our strengths. And guys, my personal superpower is my consistency, right? I have an uncanny desire to just show up. Sometimes when I show up, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. Sometimes I don't know what to expect. Sometimes I show up completely unprepared. But you know what? I've already decided that no matter what, I'm going to show up. And guys, if I can impress upon you any one thing that could transform your life better than most things, is your ability to just show up. Just show up. And when you show up, there's no telling what you're going to get out of showing up, guys. Every morning, you guys see, I just show up for y'all. Not always prepared. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I'm not excited about showing up. Sometimes I'm a little tired. I'm a little groggy from a night before, what have you. But I've already decided that part of building my media empire that's going to rival Ted Turner and Disney someday starts with this podcast. And in order for me to build it, I've got to show up. Sometimes showing up means you have to organize your life in a way that makes it easier for you to show up. My wife knows that I'm committed to this, so she helps me show up every day. My kids know I'm committed to this, those who are still living at home, so they help me show up every day. They make sure that they're quiet between this time, right? My friends and family know that I'm committed to this, so they don't ring my phone between 7 and 8 a.m. every morning, because they know I'm showing up for you guys. I'm showing up for this. Have you arranged your life to make it easy for you to show up, right? So I like to work out in the morning, 5-6 times a week. And you guys know that I actually start every workout the night before. Cortez, how do you start a morning workout the night before? I have to put my shorts, my socks, my t-shirt, my tennis shoes, my towel, and my rag in a specific place in the morning, because when I wake up and that stuff is not prepared, it's easier for me to say, man, I don't even feel like getting up finding those shorts this morning. So I actually start my workout the night before. See, I prepared to show up the night before. I make provisions in my life that make it easier for me to show up. Some of you guys won't do that because you haven't committed to showing up. See, I'm doing everything that I can to make it easy for me to show up and make sure I pull this show off every day. Are you making provisions in your life to show up, right? Dr. Deborah says, my superpower is being able to find the positive in a seemingly negative situation by refraining from the experience, right? And guess what, guys? It's these superpowers that should also create the provision in your life, right? See, I believe that we all have passions and these superpowers because they will lead us to our purpose. And when you start walking in your purpose, there too, you'll find your provision, because the God I serve did not call you for a purpose. And then while you're fulfilling that purpose, tells you, oh, by the way, you got to figure out how you're going to feed yourself. Nah, he says, because you're walking in your purpose, everything that you need to pull off this mission is provided, including money, food, shelter, all the things that will sustain you. So that is the question of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. And the question of the day is brought to you by Monetize My Life Academy, the premier digital marketing mastermind. All you got to do is go to monetizemylifeacademy.com to check it out. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Until I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.